But first tonight, new surveillance video of a hate crime. This is the gunman Warren police are searching for after 3 racist attacks on a black family. That video was captured last night as a man fired shots into the family's home. Good evening, I'm Glenda Lewis.
And I'm Alan Campbell. Investigators are now offering a $3,000 reward in this case.
Our own Jim Kurtzner is live at the police department. And Jim, this is being called a hate crime because of the messages left behind.
And we're going to show you these disturbing messages. These attacks happened Monday night, Wednesday night. Last night was the worst. It's a family of 5. The mother and father were both in the Army, now under attack in their own home.
We haven't had no hostility since I've been in war now 6 years. No problems with anybody.
That all changed this week. As we first showed you earlier, written on his pickup, parked in front, Black Lives Matter, not welcome here. Get the blank out. Tires slashed on 3 vehicles. A rock thrown through their front window.
The glass just breaking and shattering, and I just went straight to the floor because I didn't know if it was gunshots.
Get this, the Black Lives Matter sign in the front window yesterday became the target of a gunshot at 11:30 last night. Take a look at surveillance video. You can see a man dressed in a ski mask. He ducks as a car passes. But then when the street is clear, look in the upper right corner. You can see the man fire off 2 shots, 2 muzzle flashes, going through that sign in the front window. No one injured. Family today talking alongside police.
I am so upset to where there's nothing I can do to comfort my family.
Another message left for them, terrorist. Both the husband and wife are Army veterans. They're asking for help now.
We're not hateful people. We forgive him already. We want him to know that we just want you to stop. Get some help.
I mean, they're shooting. They're shooting to kill. And that we need to help the public.
Now, we spent the afternoon on that street in this neighborhood. It's mixed with races and politics. Alan and Glenda coming up next hour at 6. Police here believe someone in that neighborhood is doing this. We'll see.
Tonight, the defenders are learning brand new information after an arrest is made in the Warren hate crime investigation.
Let's get right to Sean Lay. And Sean, you've learned the suspect under arrest has confessed to police.
Investigators indeed say he has confessed. He's 24 years old and says specifically it was the Black Lives Matter sign in the Hall family window is the reason why he targeted this family on multiple occasions. We've been speaking to the Halls throughout this, and every time they said they were confident Warren police would find their man.
Fear, constant fear of the unknown.
Forced out of their family home for 3 weeks, targeted for the most vicious, violent racism and hate, Candace and Eddie Hall have consistently responded with forgiveness and grace.
Hate brings no good to anyone.
But investigators say it was the Hall's Black Lives Matter sign that set off a 24-year-old, a Cousino High School grad, a delivery truck driver who lives with his parents right around the corner to grab a gun. Police say that he found in his parents' garage and fire multiple times at the Hall's home, throw a rock through their front window, slash all of their tires, and write messages of hate on their truck.
I said at the time that this case was the number 1 priority for the Warren Police Department.
Investigators tell the Local 4 defenders every detective they had worked the case. We showed you officers going door to door to drum up leads. We're told a confidential informant led police to a home on Carrier last night. No one there today, but last night at the door, the man police were looking for.
The suspect did confess to the crimes, and I say to the crimes, against the Hall family, in addition to another incident that happened on Tom Allen Street.
That's where the word pedophile was spray painted on the garage door of a home because it had a Biden sign in the yard.
This guy went too far. You might not believe what I believe, but you went way too far.
Still, Candace Hall tells me, she told me from the beginning, she told me today, she forgives this guy if indeed he is convicted. Let's talk about him now facing 8 felonies, including hate crime charges and felony gun crimes. If convicted, we are talking about years in prison.
Giving our praises to the Most High through Hamashiach, and peace and blessings upon the nation of Israel. And yeah, brothers and sisters, we are definitely in those times. What times? The times of Jacob's trouble. It's getting close at hand. And I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of these organizations like Black Lives Matter, like ANTIFA, Black Lives Matter being a Marxist organization, the 3 lesbian black women who started Black Lives Matter admitted that they were trained Marxist. And if you're not sure what Marxism is, look up Karl Marx and do some research on Marxism. Basically, it's the system, Marxist and socialism, they go hand in hand. It's a system that the international bankers, people like the Rothschilds, they love that type of government being in place because it's easier to control the people. Okay, that's the short and dirty version of it. Okay, but Black Lives Matter is a Marxist organization that is in league with the LGBT community and their agenda. Right, and you might as well add the P to the end of LGBTP for pedophilia or pederasty, because that's what's coming next. Right, and you can see it just as plain as day. You see the Black Lives Matter fist, and on the background of it, you'll find the transgender, the LGBT rainbow. Right along with it. Okay, so they're in lockstep with each other. They're in league with each other. Right, that's what it's all about. They want the black man out of the house, and they want to emasculate not just black men but all men. And that's going to be the quickest way to go ahead and take out this society. The international bankers, they're ready to cash out on America. Right, this is a social experiment. And this whole COVID thing, the lockdown, so on and so forth, it's just a social experiment to see how far they can go. And they've got everyone running around like clowns with masks on, whereas this disease, is killed 200,000 people out of 350 million people, which is a 0.0005% chance of you actually catching the disease and dying from it. I can go on and on about that. I don't want to go off on a tangent. I want to stick to the topic here. Basically, Esau, he feels it. He sees his kingdom is coming to an end. And these organizations like Black Lives Matter, like Antifa, they are the antagonists to the destruction of his kingdom. It's like they're right in his face, like a little child, right in his face, saying, hey, your kingdom is about to come down. And you're going to see more and more backlash like this. Mark my words, right? And that's the whole thing. The newscaster said that the guy, he found a gun in his parents' garage. He's a truck driver that lives with his parents, 24 years old. Delivery guy lives with his parents and found a gun in their garage. Esau got guns just laying all over the place. Found him in his garage. Found him in his car. He's got guns he forgot about. So when this race war pops off, he's more than ready, right? And then they know they can get away with this stuff with our people, because the first thing that our people are saying, and especially the liberal black woman, so-called black woman, right at the forefront, talking over her man, talking for her man and everything. We forgive you. I forgive you. First thing that comes out of their mouth. Very first thing that comes out of their mouth. Right? So they know that there's weakness in our community. They sense it. It's spiritual. Okay? And so you're going to see these attacks happening more and more. It's going to be minimal backlash. These are 2 veterans, 2 trained veterans in the United States military. And instead of them being armed and being able to defend themselves when bullets were flying through their home at 11:30 at night, they're hitting the floor and cowering in fear for their lives, right? The so-called black community is so weak. Why is it so weak right now? Because the so-called black community is led by his woman. That's why it's weak, right? And they'll never have structured order and strength until you so-called black men wake up and put your crown back on and get ready to rule and to lead in righteousness and wisdom. Okay? All right? These brothers out here, you sisters out there supporting Black Lives Matter, you're inviting hell to your homes, man, when shit starts really hitting the fan. Because you're going to be the face of the downfall of this society, right? If things topple over, they keep toppling over the edge, destruction keeps coming, businesses keep burning down, homes keep getting burnt up by these maniacs out in the street who claim they're peacefully protesting. Yeah, you see a bunch of white faces. You see more white faces out there than you see black. But you're still the face of it. That's just the way the brain works. When you say Black Lives Matter, when they keep showing you the pictures of George Floyd, when they keep showing these pictures of Breonna Taylor, the brain is associating all of this violence and all of this burning and looting and robbing with black people. And you're going to catch the brunt of that backlash because you're in lockstep and unison with the devil, whether you know it or not. Okay? It was all politically motivated, right? He called Joe Biden a pedophile. That stuff is true. They are pedophiles, right? Him, Clinton, both Bill and Hillary, right? We can go on a whole, that's a whole nother video for a whole nother day. I'm gonna leave that one alone right now. But you so-called black men and black women, you better watch out and watch who you align yourselves with. Let's get a couple scriptures. Jeremiah 30. Let's go to Jeremiah 30. And I'm going to start at verse 4. And these are the words that the Almighty spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah, both northern and southern kingdom. For thus says the Most High, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Right? So this is for Israel. This is for you, not for the other nations. Trembling, fear, and not of peace. Ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. It's going to be so scary. Black faces are going to be turning white. Scared out of your mind. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Right? So all that fear and all that travail, hands on your loins, paleness of face, right? A great fearful time is for Israel. It's for Jacob, you so-called blacks, right? You so-called Negroes, okay? Right? But it says Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Well, who's going to be saved out of it? Not all you niggas know. Most of you going to die. Most of you going to be put to the sword. 2/3 of you, as a matter of fact. Right? Pursuant unto Zechariah 13:9. Okay? 2/3 of our people got to go. Okay? So who's going to be saved? Who's going to be a remnant that's going to be saved? A remnant is going to be saved. Right? So let's go ahead to Isaiah chapter 10. Isaiah chapter 10, and we'll start at verse 20. And it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob, right? Escape what? Escape what we just read in Jeremiah. Jacob's trouble, all that hell that's coming. Shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, but shall stay upon the Almighty, the Holy One of Israel in truth. So the ones that's going to smite you, right? It says that read that again. And it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, but shall stay upon the Almighty, the Holy One of Israel in truth. So you're not going to depend on Esau, Edom no more. You're not going to stay with him and his ideologies and his unity and his democracy and all the things that have given us no sort of prestige or rest in this land, because this land is not our rest. You're not going to stay on those things, right? You're going to stay on the Holy One of Israel. You're going to depend on the almighty power of Israel, right? Verse 21, the remnant shall return, even the remnant of Jacob, unto the mighty power. So the remnant's going to turn. So what happened to the rest of our people? They're done. They're finished. They're out of here. Concentration camps, death, disease, Esau's militias and armies run into your house, ransacking your house, taking your food, taking your goods, and taking you. Okay? If you got pretty wives and pretty daughters, they taking them and passing them around, putting you to death. Right? That's what's coming. Because Israel, that's the only language that Israel understands. They don't listen to the prophets. They don't listen to Isaiah and Jeremiah, Zechariah and Zephaniah. They don't listen to Mashiach, right? So the Most High is going to speak to you in the language that you understand. Death and violence, right? For though thy people, Israel, be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them shall return. The consumption decreed shall overflow with righteousness. For the almighty power of hosts shall make a consumption even determined in the midst of all the land. What consumption? Death. He's going to consume the wicked, the 2/3 of our people, in all the land, in all the lands that you scattered over, that you scattered into, Israel. All right? It's going to be... That's why they try so hard to make this whole one world government. It's going to be unison with this execution. Right? This is the year of 2020, clear vision. It's time for the so-called black man. I'm talking to you first, black man. So time for the so-called black man to wake the hell up, man, and see things for how they really are. You cannot align yourself with Black Lives Matter and the transgender, homosexual movement. Right? You're going to see for yourself right now that this society, they serve the horn god, the divine transvestite, and the mother goddess. All right? In that ascending order. All right? The mother goddess being on top. Right? It's all effeminate. That's why a lot of these brothers in the truth, we call it this queendom. That's what it's all about. All right, I did a sit down called Queendom Mindset. Okay? It's all about the feminine principle. So you have to become spiritual, so-called black man, to navigate these perilous times that we're in. Let's go and stay in Isaiah. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 11. And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and I will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. There's going to be so much hell breaking loose during that time. That, see, the only real men out there are the men of the Most High, the ones that are keeping his laws, his commandments, and have his wisdom and knowledge. Those are the ones that are going to have the answers in these last days. And those are going to be the ones that sisters, the ones of you who will be left, who will survive this. When you have your mind together and when you scared the hell out of your feminist mindset, you're going to be seeking men like that to lead you and guide you and to protect you. Right? Because the cock carousel is coming for you. You rode the cock carousel. All right? Being with man after man after man, kick your man out the house, new man, new dick coming in the house. Right? But now the cock carousel is coming to ride you in the last days. Verse 13. Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place, in the wrath of the Most High of hosts, in that day of his fierce anger. And it shall be as the chased roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people. Everybody clicking up with their own people, your own nation, your own ethnicity group, and flee everyone into his own land. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through. Right, this is for Israel. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, shall be killed. And everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Everyone that is joined unto them, joined unto their ideologies. Right? Joined unto these other nations, joined unto their ideologies, joined unto the gods that they serve. Right? And who do they serve? They serve the divine transvestite, the horn god, and the mother goddess. That's who they worship. Right? And we're seeing this more and more. It's becoming more and more blatant. So you can't, the covers is coming off. Right? That's why this Black Lives Matter thing is such a powerful movement in these last days, because it is pushing the homosexual agenda, and they're just coming out with it. They're tired of being underground. They're going to let you know right now, this is what we serve. This is what we down with. Yeah, we do serve Baphomet. You gonna get down with it? You're gonna have to make a choice. Straight up. Okay? Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled. I just mentioned that. And their wives ravished. It's going to be a hard time for you single independent women out there, you Instagram thoughts, right? You're going to see cats like this guy right here. He's not just going to be shooting in the house at a Black Lives Matter sign. He's going to be coming into the house, him and his boys, to have some fun with you, right? You bust it wide open on Instagram, you're going to bust it wide open for about 30 pink cocks. Okay? One last scripture and I'm out. One last scripture. Let's go to Revelation 12, right? Revelation 12. And start at verse 13. And when the dragon saw that he was cast unto the earth, right? The dragon, the serpent, okay? That's who's ruling this world right now, right? In the form of Esau, Edom, okay? And when the dragon saw that he was cast into the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child. So when he was cast down to the earth, that means he was in rulership. He was in the heavens, in rulership. That's what that means. When he's cast down to the earth, and he's coming out of rulership. And what is he doing? Persecuting the woman which brought forth the man-child. What man-child? Yahushua HaMashiach. Right, the Messiah. Right, who brought him forth? Israel. Okay, so they're coming down to persecute Israel. They're going to persecute Israel. You're going to see more and more attacks like this because they feel their kingdom slipping away from them. And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time and times and half a time from the face of the serpent. And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth. That flood represents troops, armies, militias, police organizations coming in, being deputized to help whoop your ass, Jacob. And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of the Most High and have the testimony of the Mashiach. So hey, those who keep the commandments, right, and have the testimony of Hamashiach, they're the ones that's going to be saved. He's going to be looking to make war with the remnant, okay? But he's going to be swallowing up the 2/3 whole, no problem. All right, so walk circumspect, Salaki. Stay diligent. We almost up out of here. Keep these commandments to the best of your ability because they are your protection. Peace and blessings. Shalom.